Today on Karim's Quest, I'm heading up to City View Hotel, which is in the Smokyville community, located next to Mannings Hill. It's a lovely property. It's owned by a returning resident who has a strong passion for Jamaica. He left here in the 50s and was adamant that he had to come back and build something in Jamaica that he would be proud of.
Karim's Quest. Travel different from the rest. You're watching Karim's Quest. It's always an adventure when you're watching Karim's Quest.
Oh, I'm finally on the property of City View and I'm here with Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben, say your full name.
Well,
Say it.
say my full name.
Yes.
Trevelyn Macadius Bent, otherwise known as Trevor Bent.
This is the type of name you get when you're born in the 50s and the 40s. Some very long names, right? So you have a very rich history because you were based, your father was part of the Windrush?
Yes, my father was part of the Windrush who went to England in the 50s, in fact, as you know, to rebuild England after the last, what I call European War.
And so you went after him, right?
Yes, we are the generation who went, who they sent for. In fact, as you know, they went to stay 5 years, but it don't work like that. And some laws begin to start to pass. Too much blacks are coming into the country, so there was a date. So that's why for most 50s born, persons who born from 1949 back to 58, they're in England, most of them.
Listen, I must say this for the camera. He is 69 years of age, right? So persons may not even want to believe his history because him don't look like that. But he carries himself very well. I'm proud of you as a black man. You got England, you made use of your opportunity. What did you become in terms of professionally in England?
You asked me a very good question, so how can I answer it quickly? When I started school in England, to be frank with you, we were being drenched, I'm going straight, with European history.
Yes.
I call it brainwashed.
True.
The girls were being directed to be nurses, and they could be anything because they were focused.
Right.
Boys, you know, we always a problem.
Yes, but the girls were much better than just one profession.
Yes, man. Nurses could have been doctors.
Right.
Simple. All right. The boys were being directed to go and work in the factories. At that time, 17 pounds a week seems a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you'll be earning 17 pounds for a long time as an unskilled labor. Right? And the English children were being directed to go to the youth employment center, as it was called, and choose their career path. Right? Now, I call 7 of us. Our class, get my maths, my wife was 32, 34, if I remember correctly, of which 11 were blacks, 7 were young Jamaican boys, and the rest were 3 girls. There was one mixed race, Charlie, but his parents was Jamaican. His father was Jamaican. I called us together and said, listen, we are wasting our time here in school. Let us do what the Englishman children do. Let's leave school, go to the youth employment office, you learn your career, your skill, you go to college for 3 years or 5 years. After you take your London City and Guilds, you get yourself a ticket, you can start your own business, and you can demand your salary.
What did you choose to study?
I'm coming to you. Now, before we do that, I said to them, listen, let's send a message to the 5 most racist teachers in the farm here, because racism was rampant, my friend. Concealed. Let's mash up every single bit of furniture in the classroom as a form of protest. That was our only way of protesting. I said, we know what I want. I'm sorry. And so we did. I said to them, listen.
So did you get expelled?
I'm coming to that. I said, we're too young to go to jail. They can't send us to jail. We're too young. And if they expel us, we'd lose nothing anyway, because all we'd get is a school leaving certificate that means nothing. And we did that. I wish I'd see those guys now. I wish I'd see my friends from them. I haven't met one since then. I chose in fact, over a 6 months period, I became friend with the gentleman who managed the Youth Employment Center. He was from Hong Kong. We developed a relationship. Within 6 months, I tried the engineer, the electronics, which was just coming on stream at the time, a chef, everything. I wanted a profession that I could start my own business in, because I always want to come home. So I remember one Monday morning going to the Youth Employment office, and I saw the man. He said, got a profession for you, dental technician. cut long story short, I started it. It's literally a book. And I said, my friend,
Great profession.
it's a great profession, but when you think back on what you've gone through and the system which you had to go through to survive,
A racist system.
racism system. I knew every single underground station in London because they had me delivering the works. Delivering. And when the time comes for you to learn something, they'll be there working. And you go and try to look, they stop work. Because eye, hand, and word. So my friend.
So let me ask you, you, in the back of your mind, you always wanted to come back to Jamaica.
From the day I got there, when I was welcome and said black.
Because when you arrived, you were welcome with a racist taunt.
With a racist.
So in the back of your mind, you say you have to come back to Jamaica.
It's a have to. I tell you, my friend, every day, and this is God's truth. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for living my dream. Every day, I give thanks for being back here in Jamaica. It is very sad for me at this time. My wife is in England. We're partnered. We've been together for 48 years, and she's in England right now, long story, looking after her mother, and because of the whole COVID thing. But she's the only person missing now in this whole,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you wish. So you started to build City View. Did it start as a hotel?
No, sir. It started as our dream home.
Okay.
We started building this house when we were in our 30s, in fact. We plan to sell it at least.
What year? What Jamaican year is this?
What Jamaican name? Sorry. It started 1990. I think August 1990. My wife, in fact, came home and she supervised the construction while I remained in England with the business, managing the business. Yeah.
And it was a dream home.
It was our dream home.
So at what point did you decide that this can be a hotel?
To see more Kareem's Quest features and observe some of the beautiful places that are highlighted, look for Kareem's Quest on Instagram and Facebook, where you can view different posts throughout the week. And to watch the latest videos and see extra behind the scenes content, go to YouTube and subscribe to Kareem's Quest. And while you're there, don't forget to comment, share, and click the bell icon so you can know when all the new episodes are out.
After accomplishing my dream and found the profession that would be my vehicle home, which was a dental technician,
Right.
I returned home. And in fact, my mission at that time was to revolutionize dentistry in Jamaica.
Right.
But I think it was about
Well, it never occurred.
ahead of my time.
It never occurred. So you gave your focus now to this. So it started as one room and how it expanded.
All right. It started off, it was literally our home. Everything was conceptualized into this hotel form. In fact, when we decided to conceptualize a business from it, because I have to turn my back on dentistry, right? I born in Manchester. In fact, the border of 4 parishes.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Where in Manchester are you born?
Well, as I said, the border of 4 parishes. Let me tell you now. You know, Christian. When you
Yeah,
get to
Christian. Oh, that's way
yeah,
up.
man. Way up, man.
Way up.
And I just have to travel further up. You know, Bryce. That's my first university, Bryce School, that primary school, which is now a university.
You ever play? Was it always called Wait a Bit?
Yes, man. That when you go into Australia.
Yeah,
man.
it was always called Wait a Bit.
Yes, but I don't know the history behind it, but it's always called Wait a Bit.
I was shocked when I said Wait a Bit police station. I could never believe somebody named a place Wait a Bit. Right? But that is a place where you can get yam and saltfish. What do you pay
Oh
yam?
my God, man. What? Yes, man.
So we're talking about, so with Here So Now, so you started to develop it, right? Did you see it as somewhere, because now a lot of persons who are getting married come here.
All right, let me go to the Genesis, my brother. You're a Latouche, I have to.
To find all the Kareem's Quest content in one place, visit the website kareemsquest.com. You'll see colorful adventure stories, a lot of pictures of Jamaica's beautiful landscape, and articles that highlight the many unique things about Jamaica. It's all at kareemsquest.com.
All right. When it was first conceptualized, it was conceptualized around weddings.
Okay.
Weddings. And how it happened was, I used to travel regular every weekend down to Manchester, where from, just come to. I don't know nobody in Kingston.
Right.
My wife from Santa Maria, she know nobody. We compromise and live in Kingston. That's another story.
Middle ground.
Yes. So I used to go back to. It's natural you go back to your district and you meet your people there. And going through Mandela Highway, there used to be a cluster of bougainvilleas. And bam, the idea of weddings. And then rooms, Jamaican, we are spread across the globe. Most of us do not know Kingston. Most of us. We know Kingston of what was that below east-west, below crossroads.
Right. True.
That's fact. So we don't know. And say rooms, right? And my brother, City View is a vision. There are more Trevor Bents out there who would like to come home and invest.
True. A lot of potential returning residents.
A lot. A lot. It's our goal, but we're not capitalizing on it.
Why not? A short answer, that is.
Sir, we've got a systemic problem in Jamaica. And that's big, so we cannot touch it.
All right then. So it's a little bit too hard then. There are certain elements and rudiments that are stopping
But of course,
returning residents. Okay.
take for example, with all the assets that my wife and myself got, borrowing money in Jamaica is one of the hardest things. It's like committing suicide.
Yeah, you need about $1 million reference. You need
And
a pint of blood.
What it costs you to borrow the money is more than the money you're borrowing. It's as simple.
Totally discouraged.
It is simple.
Yeah.
It is as simple as that.
So you take a little time, you build your place, right?
One on cocoa.
You take a little time, you build your place. It has now become a hot spot for a lot of luxurious weddings, right? How do you feel now seeing so many couples come here and get married?
Well, as I said, sir, it is wonderful to live your dream.
What is one of the most outlandish weddings you have ever seen?
All right. That's a good question,
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you one that sticks out most in my mind. I think it was Ivan. We didn't have a...
Ivan was 2004, right?
I think it was around
Yeah.
that time. We didn't have a generator.
Yeah.
And here comes Ivan, take out all the lights. And we have wedding this week, wedding next week. And we had two of the most beautiful candlelight wedding you could ever think of. I've never seen it come back. You see, City View, right now, what we're experiencing now is tranquility.
Yeah, I get you.
Who would ever believe you could come to Kingston and have tranquility? Yes, it is here.
True.
So
So wait,
it is great.
so the wife was never fluttered by the fact that there's no light or anything like that, because women have a higher
No,
regard.
man. Jamaicans, we're very resilient, We adapt and we're very creative. Man, wow. It's in my mind,
Yeah. So the two couples, they've got married with just candlelight.
Candlelight wedding, there was no generator.
How what kept the champagne cold?
Well, you're not really going to have your ice and things and, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But it just creates a fantastic ambience. And
So-
then when it blends in, remember, when the lights on down there, it's like Kingston smiling. And then it creates an ambience with the light. Oh my God, man.
True.
The thing that's left here is lighting and water. Yeah, man.
Let me ask you, how many rooms?
Good. We started off with what we had, right? We had 6 rooms. That was what the house that you had, right?
Right.
And we are planning now to add 20 rooms. But it won't be just ordinary rooms. It will be 20 rooms, and the 14, in fact the 15 most prominent rooms would be naming after the parishes of Jamaica.
Oh, nice.
As I said.
So no, though, just 6 rooms.
Yes, working with at this time.
Okay, so and those 6 rooms, they both come with what? What type of amenities we're looking at?
Well, all right. We are planning now post-COVID because City View has never been marketed as such.
True.
Right? What we want to do is create packages that you come to City View and everything that you want. We have an in-house chef, right? You have your fridge with all the liquors that you'd want to have in there. It is your home while you are here.
Get you. So right now rooms have TV.
Rooms have TV cable. You have AC.
Nice.
You have interconnecting phone to the rooms or to the office.
Oh.
You have.
So that it's really, you guys really
Wireless.
thought of the whole wedding theme, because the bride can get through to the bridesmaids, can get to the groom.
And the beautiful thing about City View, you can rent, you can have the whole, not rent, but the whole property. Right? And this is where.
There's a pool here as well.
To come. Right? It's the area is there.
Okay, good.
If I could go to the bank tomorrow and XYZ, it could be here next week.
All commercial banks have to make loans more accessible.
You know how City View started? When my father died, my mother had a house and she was sold, and I borrowed £5,000 to start my own business.
That's in England?
In England. A friend of mine, Winston Carney, who he's always been a forerunner, great guy, Winston, said to me, Trevor, don't use the £5,000 to buy equipment, and made the mistake that he make. Use the 5,000 as your cash flow. Go to the bank, you borrow your lease purchase, the money over a 5-year fixed period, and you pay for your equipment. Your supplier, you go to your supplier, they supply with the material. Every end of month, they send you your bill, you pay them. Every end of month, you send the dentist your bill, he paid you. So it's clean cut.
You did the opposite.
Pardon?
You did the opposite.
What do you mean?
When you borrowed the money, the 5,000 at the time, did you take his advice, or you?
Of course.
Oh,
Of course.
good.
Of course.
Good.
And
So you
I'd love
keep
to see
yourself
Winston. I haven't
liquid.
seen him in years.
Well, listen. Is this a place where other families can come and rent it? Because if you don't want to have a wedding, you can just come here as well and rent.
When you say rent, what do you
And
mean?
I shouldn't even say rent. Just come here and stay for the night, for the weekend.
Of course, but persons right now are coming here for the weekend. Persons come here to even study.
Okay, wow.
You know? And what's happening now? And it's economics. One of the beautiful things about City View Hotel, it's a private property. It's literally gated. You cannot just drive up to City View Hotel and park in the car park and just say you're having a view. You have to be coming in some form of business.
I know. I tried to come here before and it couldn't happen.
Put it this way. If we wanted to be otherwise, we would have bust about 20 years ago, could get stolen up here,
Everybody.
and the place would be the doors forward.
I get you.
So we bear our hunger, because in fact, sir, we are doing something to last beyond our life.
Mr. Bent, it was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for being on Kareem's Quest. I mean, I learned so much about the resilience of, you hear about it from our people, but I'm always happy when I can meet somebody who went through that struggle, because you're not reading it in a book. You're seeing it for yourself and you're interacting with it for yourself. So from one generation to the other, much respect. This was a very informative episode as usual for me. Whenever we can talk to persons in the previous generation, we don't have to read a history book. We can hear them tell the stories and the emotion, the raw emotions that they feel when they were going through many of their struggles. Of course, when the interview finished with Mr. Bent, he had so much to say, so he kept talking and telling me information when the camera stopped rolling. And I'm going to put a lot of that information on my website, kareemsquest.com. You can also view the latest episodes on YouTube, Kareem's Quest. If you leave a comment, I will try to reply. I usually like most of my comments and share them. Share the stories with the Jamaican diaspora. We are rich with so much content in this country, so we have so many valuable things to give to the world. As usual, stay safe and walk good.